And they'll run the option to start the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball 3, and it's 4th down. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 116 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 33. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Robinson up the middle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 12-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense, his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. He's going to keep this again. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
And simply put, partner, we're witnessing one of the best offensive players in the league so far this season. What he's been doing has him second in rushing across the NFL, and the top spot is clearly in sight. He's caught.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chase Young in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. A try here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. New York set to take the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They got to take care of business first.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw here. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense for the Commanders, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
They'll set up a throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Kayvon Thibodeaux, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start with the option.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Back to throw now on 1st down. It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
He'll keep it himself.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Really something how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So here's Washington now to take over.
They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Left side to Lamb.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Eluding and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
2nd and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Barrett. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. After run, a 14-3 ball game. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Now this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll try to run the option here. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Hand off now to Robinson. And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Touchdown! Quez Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
On that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And New York set to take the field.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10, and you know you're going to have to go as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
2nd and 14. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
We use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
On the give, here's Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Washington on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Robinson diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Now the try here for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Daron Payne in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Bioski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Now back to throw. Out left to Dotson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. Robinson is in. Touchdown, Washington. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And some room to maneuver. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the normal way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Beckham. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk at the 20.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Tony Pollard, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And right now they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Tyler Algier, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Commanders, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get the extra week to